Hey Mila, Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and with the help of my GoPro camera, I'm going to show you how I cut prescription lenses for your Prada VPR 04Q. And the color, of course, this is the Prada case, the card of authenticity, all that stuff that comes with it. Let me move this aside. You got the rope of Milano pattern going on the inside of your case. Let me pull the camera down so you can see a little bit better. Your magnetically opened Italian leather Prada case, and of course your beautiful Prada, and of course the Prada cleaning cloth that's on the inside. But let me set all of this down for you. And this is the color, let's see, the VPR 04Q, and this is color 7S31101 in the 51I size. Hopefully everyone can see that, but it's a lovely ivory color with the English tortoise, also known as Japanese tortoise, which is just a higher contrast tortoise than the traditional darker classic tortoise. By the way, you had a little plastic sleeve on the left temple that I removed to read the model number. That's the way Prada sends it to me. It prevents the temples from rubbing together during shipping. If they think that's a good idea, oop, I've dropped my bag. I'm gonna put a second one on there when I ship to you, so we'll have twice the protection. But for now, let me go ahead and take everything away and we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to take all the original packaging off, and I'm going to pop out your original demo lenses that says Prada on your left lens. Mila, this is a beautiful, beautiful frame. Good selection, good selection. And I'm going to put your Italian frame into my Italian Santanelli. This is the LE 1000 patternless edger. Runs $30,000. I recommend everyone go out and get one. The stylus is now tracing the shape of your right lens, then it's going to move over and trace the shape of the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed with quality. You buy a genuine, authentic Prada frame and you will see free, clear, single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses, if that's your thing. If you have vision insurance or flex dollars and you don't wear prescription glasses but you still like to have the look, you can purchase them from me legally. My receipt has my federal ID tax number on there. So your pupillary distance is 61.5. I'm going to type that in there. These are polycarbonate lenses being cut for a Xyle frame, which is just an old school name for plastic. And let's get everything ready. Your right lens reads -1. So I'm going to take it out of its protective sleeve and put it into my Marco 101 lensometer. And this is a good time for you to see how dusty the top of my lensometer is. But I'm going to put a dot on the center of your lens, which is too light for you to see, so I'm going to darken that. And this is the right lens, so I'll put an R on there. We'll do the same thing now for the left lens, which reads -1¼ sphere. I will put that in there, dial in that -1¼ and put a dot on this one. And that is the left lens, so I'll put an L. So this is a block, or as I like to call it, Jenny from the block. This is what's going to need to attach to your lens so it'll hold it in place while it is cutting. And wouldn't you know it, 3M, the same people who make Post-it notes, make a double-sided adhesive sticker. So I'm going to take one of these, and the black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick that onto the block, pull away the tape, and essentially what I'm looking into now is like the crosshairs of a scope. I've got a vertical meridian and a horizontal one, and I want to get that red dot, which is your optical center, and put it dead center in front of your pupil. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the left lens. Put the double-sided adhesive sticker, stick that on there, pull away the tape, and drop the lever. So I'm going to take your right lens and put it into the Chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know it well enough to call it Chuck. But apart from the bad humor, the next thing that's going to happen is these calipers are going to come down and it's going to trace the shape of the right side of your frame to make sure this lens is large enough to fit in there. Starting with the rear surface, the back surface, also known as the concave surface, and then it's going to move over and trace the front surface of the lens, which is the convex surface, all the while measuring the thickness of the lens to know exactly where to place the bevel. The actual cutting wheel is down here on the bottom left. It's that lighter color wheel. It's going to grind away your polycarbonate material, and this wheel in the center with that channel, that little valley, that's what's going to cut the bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the frame. I will have to close the door in just a moment, but I just want you to see as your right prescription lens touches down on the cutting wheel. So your lenses are made out of the polycarbonate material. polycarb is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. It is also virtually unbreakable. Your lenses are bulletproof up to 22 caliber and have both UVA and UVB protection built into them. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin from overexposure, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes, which will never need to be reapplied, unlike the lotion, sprays, and creams. The sunscreen, they have to be reapplied every couple hours. You will never need to do that. Plus, your lenses are aspheric, meaning not spherical. A spherical lens is round in every direction and gives you an ugly cosmetic fishbowl appearance. These lenses are much flatter, and it's going to fit inside your frame and not come bulging out like cheap lenses will do. Plastic is the least expensive and most common of all the lens materials. When you buy glasses online, they will charge you for plastic lenses. Then if you want the thinner, lighter weight, unbreakable polycarb, you have to pay an upgrade to get these. And then if you want the aspheric lenses with the flatter curvature, you have to pay another upgrade fee. So this is someone else's top tier premium lens that you have to pay 3 upgrades to get. You will get that same lens from me for free when you buy the frame. This frame out there sells for $300, and you will see free clear single vision prescription lenses. In order to be an authorized dealer, you sign a contract where I cannot undercut anyone's prices unless I'm told to, which is never. So they've got a racket on the frames to keep the prices the way they are. The good news is no matter where you go in the country, they're the same price. The bad news is no matter where you go in the country, they're the same price. So they don't control my lens prices, and that's how I get them. Everyone's going to get free clear single vision prescription lenses when you buy the frames from me. So this is the final shape, but you still have some rough edges that are left over from the cutting cycle. So I want to use my hand stone, which is completely flat. I can put my finger on while it's running, and my finger gets warm due to the friction, but it's that friction that allows me to smooth out or apply what's known as the safety bevel. And literally I am melting those rough edges away, and this white powdery substance you see that I'm scraping off your lens, let me turn that off so you don't get weird special effects in the background. But this white powdery substance is called Schwarf. May the Schwarf be with you. Actually, it will not be with you, because I've scraped it off, and now that it's all scraped off of your lens and onto the counter, oop, there's one piece on the back of my finger. Sorry, my Peter Brady moment there. Ooh, I got a little bit more over there. So I collect it all very neatly into one pile on the counter, and then I wipe it on the floor. And this is where I say, kids, stay in school. I went to school for years to learn how to make a mess like that. So kids, if you want to grow up and make a mess, you gotta stay in school. So I'm gonna take your lens, I'm gonna tuck it in at the outside corner, then using my thumbs, oops, it's still alive, it's squirming. I am going to, when the block's not there, push down and it snaps right in. So let me do the same thing now for the left lens. Flip that over to L and hit start. And just like before, the calipers are going to come down, but this time they're going to trace the shape of your left lens to make sure it's large enough. Always starting with the rear surface, the concave surface, and then it's going to move forward and trace the convex side of the lens. Camera 1. Do you visualize that shape of your lens going on there? Camera 2. Camera 1. Camera 2. So Mila in Hotlanta, Atlanta, Georgia, you are going to be rocking these new Pradas. I cannot keep any white frame in stock during the summertime because it is white hot. Let me go ahead and pop this off. Everybody wants white sunglasses or white frames for the summertime, for when they're all whited out, for when they go from their Nike Air Force One shoes to their Nike hat. Everybody wants as much white as possible, and this is a beautiful frame. So, in just a moment, I'll take the left lens out. I will not be removing that red dot just yet. I will need that to take a measurement at the very end. Normally, I would put your lens into the lensometer and read the prescription to make sure it's cut right, but with your prescription, there's no way I cannot cut it right. The unit of measurement we use in the optical field is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R. and everything is in quarter increments, starting at 0 being non-prescription, also known as plano, and goes up in quarter steps, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1, 1 1/4. You need 4 steps of correction to see correctly. With your being nearsighted, you're a myope, so with your glasses off, things are much too large than they really appear. So when you put your glasses on, it will shrink everything down to the correct size that it should be, and you have no astigmatism. Astigmatism is what makes things blurry. 6s and 8s will look alike, the letters P and F. You just need to have everything the correct size. Nothing is blurry to you. I know that doesn't make sense to some people. It's not blurry, but it's just not the correct size. So when you put your glasses on, everything will shrink down to the correct size that it really is. So these water jets kick in the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle. And in just a moment, I'll take it out and we'll get this mounted in your frame, and then we'll get it shipped to you. So not only will you be receiving the Prada cleaning cloth, I'm going to send you one of my own. Of course, Mila, you're going to get a pink one, but I'm going to give you one of my own premium microfiber cleaning cloths with instructions on not only just to care for your eyeglasses, but for your Prada case and your Prada cloth and mine, so they will last you for years. But no one else is doing that. Plus, one more thing I'd like to send out is my photo request that I call a selfie request. Years ago, when my patients started coming in picking up their glasses, I started taking pictures of them to combine my interest in photography and the work that I was doing here. And it turned out to be a good experience for everyone involved. They love it. So that's why I'm putting a selfie request to have your picture on the website. There we go. That block was just in the way. Let me pop this block off. And your pupillary distance is 61.5. So I'm going to flip this card around, and I'm going to place the 0 of my PD stick, actually that's inches, let me flip it over to get to millimeters. I'm going to put that on against my thumb on 0, and on the left lens I will measure 61.5, so that is cut perfectly too. I do want to clean my dots, the red dots, off of your lenses. And this is the time I always like to point out to everyone that if you receive these and they're too loose or they're too tight or they're high on one side or the other, the reason for that is 80% of people have one ear that's higher than the other. And I'm no different. I'll show you an example of that in just a moment. But that's why 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to go ahead and get it in standard alignment first, meaning a 3-point stance. Those 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set it on the counter and there is no wobble. When I say wobble, I do have one ear that's higher than the other, so when I take mine off, they do wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. But I'm just going to make sure yours don't wobble. I press down, there is no wobble. I flip them over, there is no wobble. I make sure that each temple overlaps perfectly, and they do. And there's the same amount of tension on each spring hinge, and there is. So that's it. If anyone has any questions about what I can and can't do, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. And Mila, I hope you enjoyed watching as I made your prescription Prada glasses, and everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.